I refused to sign away my empire. The pen froze above the contract, its weight like a guillotine in my hand. At 31, I stood in the opulent dining room of a Savannah mansion, staring at Clause 8.3 of the prenup. All assets acquired during the marriage shall be the exclusive property of Theodore Langston upon acquisition. Betrayal burned like acid in my throat. Sunlight streamed through arched windows, bathing the oak table in a golden glow that mocked the document's cold intent. "Sign it, Eleanor," purred Cassandra, Theodore's mother, her voice silky but her eyes sharp as flint. Her crimson nails tapped the signature line. "Or the engagement's over." Theodore's father, Harold, lounged in a velvet armchair, sipping bourbon, the ice clinking with smug satisfaction. Theodore, my fiancé of 18 months, who'd vowed to share a future with me, studied the Persian rug as if it held life's answers. His silence roared louder than any argument. "My name is Sophia Bennett, a self-made property developer worth $35 million. This is how I turned a family's greed into their public undoing. I wasn't born to wealth. My childhood in Augusta was modest, peeling paint, thrift store couches, but filled with love. Dad repaired trucks, his hands stained with grease. Mom, a kindergarten teacher, came home dusted with glitter and resolve. They taught me integrity outshines money. In high school, I spread college applications across our worn dining table, weighing costs against my savings from waitressing and tutoring. "You're limitless," Mom said, her hand on mine. A full scholarship to a top business school proved her right. While peers partied, I interned at real estate firms, absorbing strategies. Post-graduation, I invested my $15,000 savings into a crumbling triplex in a neglected neighborhood. I learned wiring from online tutorials, painted until my arms ached, and haggled with skeptical contractors. It sold for triple my investment. Property after property, I built a reputation for reviving forgotten spaces. By 30, my firm had flipped 50 properties, and my net worth hit $35 million. I kept it quiet. Wealth was my shield, not my badge. I met Theodore at a museum gala. He bid $20,000 on a sculpture I admired, then gifted it to me with a warm grin. "Beauty deserves its match," he said, his green eyes sparkling. He was charming, a product of old Savannah money, but seemed weary of its weight. "It's all posturing," he'd sigh over coffee dates and riverfront strolls. "I want something true." I believed him, falling for his apparent sincerity. The Langstons welcomed me with polished smiles, yacht outings, garden parties, and galas where they paraded me like a trophy. But soon, the slights began. Such ambition for someone from humble roots, Cassandra mused over brunch, her gaze dissecting me. "Not our usual debutante," Harold chuckled, patting Theodore's shoulder. "She's bold, Theo," his sister Margot slurred at a family picnic. "Just don't let her sink your fortune." Theodore's hand brushed mine under the table, a weak apology. To them, I wasn't a partner. I was a risk, new money threatening their legacy. Weeks before the wedding, Cassandra's calls grew pointed. "Just curious about your holdings, dear." She'd coo, probing my finances like a vulture circling prey. Theodore echoed her, suggesting we merge portfolios for our future. My instincts, honed by years of deal-making, screamed danger. This wasn't love, it was a heist. When Cassandra presented the prenup, I wasn't shocked, just gutted. Clause 10.1 was a gut punch. In case of divorce, Sophia Bennett relinquishes all claims to Langston assets, regardless of her contributions. I looked at Theodore. "You agreed to this?" My voice was steady, but the air crackled. He stared at his loafers. "It's just a formality, Sophia. For the family." "A formality that strips me of everything I build?" I asked. "Is that your idea of US?" He mumbled, "Don't make it hard." In that moment, I saw not my fiancé, but pawn of his family's greed. I didn't shout. I smiled. "I'll review it," I said, sliding the papers back. Cassandra smirked, Harold nodded, and Theodore exhaled, mistaking my calm for defeat. They thought they'd caged me. They didn't know I'd already slipped free. That night, in my loft, a sleek space I owned outright. I called my lawyer. Lila, activate Plan Fortress. By dawn, my assets, properties, stocks, cash, were locked in an ironclad trust, untouchable by any spouse or in-law. Then I phoned the wedding planner.
Hi, Celeste.
Sophia Bennett. Change my RSVP to guest, not bride. The wedding day sparkled, Savannah's oaks draped in moss. The cathedral brimmed with roses and elite guests. I arrived in a sharp ivory suit, not a gown, striding to a back pew as the organ played. Gasps followed me. Cassandra stormed over, her diamonds glinting. "What is this?" she hissed. I handed her the unsigned prenup. "You said sign, or no wedding." I chose no. Harold charged up, face crimson. "You dare embarrass us? You'll get nothing from us." The church hushed. I pulled out a Fortune magazine from my purse, my face on the cover. Sophia Bennett, $35 million real estate mogul by 31. "I never wanted your money, Harold. I have my own." The crowd gasped. Margot's wineglass shattered on the floor. Theodore, at the altar, looked like a man who'd lost a fortune, not a fiancé. Their greed unraveled in front of Savannah's elite. I walked out head high, the sun warm on my face. Later, Theodore's texts flooded in. "We can fix this. I love you. Mom's furious." I read them coldly. He mourned a missed deal, not me. I blocked every Langston number, severing their hold. Weeks later, my lawyer confirmed Theodore had legally withdrawn the proposal.
Case closed.
I didn't just keep my $35 million. I kept my soul. Their greed became their shame, and I walked free. What would you have done? Signed for love? Or walked away?